Greetings. We're here at Allen Auto today to show you work that's going on this MGTF that's being Volvo powered. We've restored the chassis, brakes and suspension. The engine has been rebuilt and installed. It's got new nickel-plated manifold. We've restored and repainted the suspension and frame, and now we're at the point of trying to restore the wood. Just want to show you some of the problems we're running into. This is Jim Needham. He's the guy on the job. Jim, why don't you show us first off the problems, the reason for getting involved in the wood in the first place?
Well, the first part is this whole, it's all rickety because it's broken in the joints. The screws are old and rusted, and the holes have gotten reamed out. All the bottoms of the pieces are dry rotted and falling apart. And then if you move back here, you'll notice somebody did some work earlier and they welded against the wood and set it on fire. So the new sheet metal won't work. This is also very dry rotted down here where it goes into the main rail. You see I can take my fingernail and pull pieces of it out. So it's just places like this are, places like this are bad, and they're never going to be. This side is, if you look at the joint flex, that shouldn't move at all. That should be very tight.
So it's structurally not strong enough to hold the new body or any body?
It would, the way if you painted panels, you'd end up chipping panels at the joints and stuff because of the ricketiness of the frame.
So the design of the wood is really to support the sheet metal. The sheet metal is unlike a contemporary car. The sheet metal isn't strong enough to support itself.
Correct. It's like a Model A or something like that. So the steel's nailed to the wood. So that is the structure of the car.
Okay. So
back here you'll see there's lots of nail holes. We have new pieces to go here just because it's worn out. And
so there's not much left to take a nail?
No, it's just like Swiss cheese. It's pretty bad.
Okay.
And this is an important part of the car. There's a lot of stuff going on back here.
So let's move on to some of the, we could take a look at one of the worst pieces over on the bench, that burned up piece. That sort of tells the story.
This is the door rail. It's what they call the bottom of the door rail, and it was set on fire and basically was just hanging in the sheet metal. Wasn't supporting anything.
Looks like a piece of firewood.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Okay, so this looks like the wood that we have, the new ash pieces.
These are new pieces of ash. And these are kind of general in their shapes. Anything that they give you is, they give you a piece that's basically roughly jointed. It's thicker than the original pieces.
So it's not dimensionally the same as...
No, not at all. There's no relief, as you can see there. There's no relief in it. Nothing drilled out back here. So, quite a lot thicker. So it takes some time to get those pieces right. These pieces are side pieces, and I've already taken and marked them out against the old ones, and you can see that they're a little bit more curved in this spot. So every piece of wood that goes onto this car needs to be adjusted. and they have to be fairly close, because I'll show you why. This is a new panel for the front of the car, and as you can see, these panels have to fit the wood snugly, and if they don't, then...
Because originally the wood was made first and then the panels were pounded over the wood, right?
Yes.
But that can't happen now because they make the new panels out of a different gauge wood, is that right?
Right. This still has to be folded. This still has to be folded. However, the door area, which is formed and spot welded already, has to fit that area. And it has to fit it right.
Because it can't be folded.
This can't be changed again. So that's basically what I'm doing is I'm going along as I fit my wood. I check the sheet metal to make sure that everything is the same dimension. Because this car depends on that. The body has to be put together precisely.
So what are you doing here?
All right, this here, I replaced this piece that was burnt up, this piece that was badly burned.
You got the old pieces?
Yes, I do. This is the...
Oh my gosh.
This is that.
Pretty charry.
Yeah, okay. And this piece is... I should say this piece is... Alright, I guess that's a new word.
We're not talking Reese's Pieces here.
This was actually cut by somebody in an attempt to make an adjustment.
Oh my.
And the body, not really the way to go.
So you found that cut apart.
Yeah, it was cut when I got to it. The whole cowl was floating. And it wasn't until I unnailed the cowl that I realized just how twisted this car was.
Okay.
And that's the other door post.
So what's the importance of that door post? Does that serve an important function?
Well, for one, the door closes to it. And two, it basically starts and makes this whole area. It comes down to the main rail.
How's the main rail?
The main rails are fine. They didn't take any damage. Just the smaller open grain pieces did. They soak water up through.
Right.
You know how they'll do that.
Yeah.
So anyway, what we're trying to do here is rebuild this whole structure. This supports the engine cowl, and then this supports the cowl where the gauges and whatnot go, and then it starts the car going back. So everything's supported by the mounts. I've taken and got the mounts on so that I know it's, and I have my sheet metal right on hand. I check every time I do something. I check it. You don't want to get 5 steps ahead of yourself. And
so you're putting the wood together and holding the metal up to it as you go, so you're fabricating the wood to fit the metal, rather than originally they built the wood first and then pounded the metal over.